From our studio in the central of Jakarta, welcome to House News. We'll be sharing with you all the latest information coming around the House of Representatives of Indonesia, especially in regards of the happening between Iran and Israel. Let's start the program with our headlines. Indonesia will support efforts to de-escalate the conflict in the Middle East, which has heated up after Iran's retaliatory attack on Israel. Expert warns Indonesia's economy could slow down if the Middle East conflict worsens. Iran's recent missile strikes on Israel have heightened concerns about the economic impact, including on Indonesia. The House highlights the need to maintain financial stability to anticipate the impact of the Iran-Israel conflict, which has prompted a decline in the rupiah exchange rate against the US dollar. To maintain economic growth in Indonesia, investment must continually increase as the base of the national growth is consumption, be it the government's or private sectors. Disasters can happen anytime, so it's important to be prepared. Having a ready go back to quickly grab before evacuating can make all the difference in emergency situations. Chairperson of BKSAP of the House reaffirms the commitment to end the conflict between Iran and Israel with peaceful resolutions. The ongoing war between the two nations has had a significant impact globally. Chairperson of BKSAP of the House Fadlizon mentions Iran's direct attack on Israel was retaliation for an Israeli strike on the Iranian consulates in the Syrian capital Damascus, which killed senior military commanders. Furthermore, Fadli urges conflict de-escalation amid growing fears of a widening conflict in the Middle East.
Karena ini bisa meningkatkan eskalasi, ya kita tahu bahwa yang memprovokasi ini adalah Israel yang waktu itu melakukan tindakan secara sepihak yang mengakibatkan cukup banyak korban jiwa di konsulat besar Iran di Damaskus, sehingga kita melihat apa yang terjadi sekarang ini adalah sebuah proses retaliation atau pembalasan yang dilakukan oleh Iran. Nah, jadi menurut saya kita ada dalam posisi menginginkan adanya perdamaian, deeskalasi gitu ya, de-escalation, sehingga tidak menciptakan satu konflik yang lebih meluas dan perang yang lebih besar di kawasan yang melibatkan lebih banyak negara.
The latest hostility between Iran and Israel was triggered by an attack of the Iranian consulate in Damascus, Syria on April 1st. At least 7 members of Iran Islamic Revolutionary Corps, including 2 top generals, were killed in the attack. Iran launched a retaliatory attack by firing dozens of ballistic missiles and hundreds of drones at Israel. Panji and Yoga, TVR Parliament report. This time coming from Commission 6 of the House, who urges the government to prepare strategic policies to ensure the Iran-Israel conflict does not have significant impact on Indonesia's economy. Geopolitical tensions in the Middle East have led to a 1% rise in oil prices, driven by concerns over potential supply disruptions. Vice Chairperson of Commission 6 of the House, Arya Bima, requests the government to carefully implement strategies to anticipate oil price increases. This can be done through political and trade diplomacy with countries that are not directly affected by the Middle East war.
Selain itu kita juga harus berpikir terutama harga crude oil, harga BBM, dan harga bahan baku pupuk yang sangat mungkin akan mengalami suatu kenaikan kalau terjadi betul-betul akhirnya Israel akan menyerang Iran atau Iran akan menyerang Israel. Karena terusan Suez ini sangat berpengaruh bagi harga BBM kita, baik itu crude maupun harga BBM. Untuk itulah perlu antisipatif, alternatif, opsi-opsi apabila itu benar-benar terjadi. Karena sekali lagi sesuatu yang sangat sulit, krisis ekonomi dunia itu tidak akan terjadi. Harga dolar akan meningkat karena faktor harga BBM yang meningkat.
Furthermore, Arya Bima states Indonesia should play an active role in diplomatic efforts through the United Nations to reduce the risk of a larger conflict between Israel and Iran by engaging in diplomatic discussions and supporting peace initiatives. From Gianyar, Bali, Akbar Prakoso, TVA Parlemen reports. Vice Chairperson of Commission 6 of the House warned the Indonesian state-owned enterprises to anticipate the impact of global economic and geopolitical tensions as the conflict between Israel and Iran escalates. The Indonesian rupiah has weakened against the US dollar in the past few days, driven by escalating tensions between Iran and Israel. Vice Chairperson of Commission 6 of the House Sarmuji mentions the economic and geopolitical situation has led to increased import costs for food and raw materials due to supply chain disruptions. Therefore, state-owned companies need to review operational costs, capital expenditures, debt, and corporate action plans.
Pasti berpengaruh ya dengan belanja BUMN, terutama BUMN yang komponen luar negerinya itu besar. Bagi BUMN yang bergerak di sektor-sektor yang komponennya harus impor, ini tentu saja membebani dan harus direncanakan mulai awal. Pasti apapun yang terjadi di dunia internasional, mau itu konflik antar negara atau ada peristiwa besar di dunia atau ada kejatuhan perekonomian di negara lain, pasti berpengaruh terhadap Indonesia. Karena itu menghitung ulang itu penting. BBM komponen impornya besar, jadi sangat berpengaruh. Dan apalagi itu volumenya juga sangat besar, pasti berpengaruh. Kita juga betul-betul harus merasionalisasi, jangan sampai nanti kemampuan BUMN kita tidak sanggup menahan depresiasi rupiah itu, kalau tidak dilakukan langkah-langkah selanjutnya.
Furthermore, Sarmuji requests all state enterprises to remain vigilant by monitoring the current situation, considering the possibility of an increase in interest rates. From Bali, Rifki Makdudi, TVA Parlemen reports. Make sure to stay with us because after the break, we bring you the latest information coming from Commission 9 of the House. Stay tuned to House News. And you're still watching House News. Commission 6 of the House encourages increased investment to improve people's welfare and drive national economic growth. Investment should be benefit for public welfare and economic development. Member of Commission 6 of the House, Herman Hairon, highlights the slow improvement in people's welfare. He evaluates the increase in investment should be in line with the welfare of society. Therefore, Herman requests investment strategies should not conflict with the values and other interests in the community.
Apakah investasi yang besar tadi itu juga selaras dengan peningkatan kesejahteraan masyarakat? Investasi juga jangan sampai menabrak aturan-aturan lingkungan hidup. Di Cirebon misalkan ada investasi yang masuk di sana, tetapi kemudian pabrik dibangun di catchment area. Sehingga kemudian pada akhirnya membuat banjir di wilayah-wilayah perkampungan yang sebelumnya tidak pernah sederas itu ataupun setinggi itu banjirnya. Nah, ini yang saya katakan bahwa secara kuantitas jangan menjadi kebanggaan karena ada tujuan besar dari investasi, yaitu untuk menjadi trigger pertumbuhan ekonomi. Investasi untuk meningkatkan kesejahteraan rakyat, untuk membuka lapangan pekerjaan.
Furthermore, Herman hopes the increase in investment should impact the national economic growth. The government must prioritize the transparency of incoming investment to provide information based on existing data and facts. Halim and Kiki, TVA Parlemen report. Commission 9 of the House warns the public to remain vigilant against the potential transmissions of Singapore flu. The data shows that the Singapore flu cases in Indonesia have increased significantly. Member of Commission 9 of the House, Weni Haryanto, requests the public to be careful and maintain a healthy and clean lifestyle to prevent the spread of the hand, foot, and mouth disease, or known as Singapore flu. Despite the high transmission rate, the disease typically manifests with symptoms such as fever, cough, and sore throat, with an average incubation period of 10 to 14 days.
Ketika sudah tertular, harus menjaga 2 minggu di rumah dulu. 2 minggu. Jadi setelah sembuh, 2 minggu jangan masuk. Kalau anak-anak jangan masuk sekolah. Kalau orang dewasa jangan ke kantor dulu. Karena pada 2 minggu itu, pernah ketika ada baru 1 minggu, dokter mengatakan bahwa sudah sembuh, si anak masuk, yang terjadi dia menulari teman-teman yang lain. Jadi si rantai penularannya nggak pernah berhenti, seperti itu. Jadi itu yang harus kita lakukan di Indonesia.
As of week 11 of 2024, the Ministry of Health reported more than 5,000 cases of Singapore flu in Indonesia. This disease can attack all groups, although most reports occur in children. The highest number of cases are in West Java, and other cases occurred in Banten, Central Java, Yogyakarta, and East Java. Andri, TVA Parlemen reports. Vice Speaker of the House emphasized International Women's Day is a time to show recognitions for women. Therefore, we should oppose all forms of discriminations against women. Vice Speaker for People's Welfare of the House, Abdul Muhaimin Iskandar, asked the government to be more repressive and preventive against all cases involving violence and harassments against women. This is a concrete actions to combat all form of discriminations against women.
Luar biasa diikuti ribuan peserta yang semangat untuk sehat, semangat untuk menyongsong masa depan lebih baik, terutama siap melawan segala bentuk penindasan, kekerasan, bahkan pelecehan terhadap perempuan-perempuan Indonesia. Ini kita lakukan sebagai upaya kita untuk terus mengkampanyekan anti diskriminasi, anti kekerasan, dan anti pelecehan terhadap perempuan di berbagai tempat. Sehingga kita semua harus waspada dan menjadi kekuatan untuk melawan dan meminta kepada pemerintah, terutama kepada polisi, untuk bertindak represif terhadap tindakan kekerasan terhadap perempuan sekaligus preventif agar tidak terjadi di masyarakat kita.
Recently, the House hosted the Women's Day Run 10K to commemorate International Women's Day and Kartini Day. Muhaimin Iskandar points out International Women's Day represents the ongoing global effort for women's equality, including progress in Indonesia. Nurbani, TVA Parlemen reports. Don't go anywhere, we still have more interesting stories for you, only on House News. In the event of an emergency, it is important to have the right supplies on hand. Emergency prepare kits can help people survive after a disaster occurs. Are you ready for the next earthquake, the next flood, wildfire, hurricane? If you need to evacuate quickly, will you have easy access to emergency essentials, including clean water, food, and first aid supplies? Being prepared for an emergency isn't just about staying safe during a storm or a disaster. It's also about how to stay comfortable, clean, fed, and healthy afterwards. That's why it is important to prepare an emergency kit. There are at least 10 items you should put in the emergency kit: a flashlight, charged power bank and additional batteries, copies of identity documents and important telephone numbers, cash, a battery-powered radio, tuned to emergency radio stations, candles and matches, a first aid kit with instructions, blankets to keep you warm, sanitary items, whistle to help the emergency services locate you, water and snacks such as tin beans. Packing your emergency kit is step 1. The next steps are storing it and maintaining it. It's best to store your kit in a place that could easily and quickly reach in case of an emergency. All your emergency kits needs to be updated once a year. This way you can check expired items and replace them. Especially for families with children, this yearly check can help you reassess what items you will continue to need or not. When it comes to sensing danger, animals often have ability to detect natural disasters before they occur. These creatures can alert humans to potential threats. These animals have a special talent for knowing when danger is coming. People have seen animals act strangely before disasters, and now scientists are studying this more. Dogs have senses that most people believe they have a sixth sense. Dogs will display strange behavior to alert you of the upcoming disaster. Dogs have ability to break up smells and sound and can pick up the slightest changes to know that trouble is coming. These tiny insects are highly sensitive to environmental changes, especially electromagnetic fields. Before an earthquake, bees often abandon their hives, indicating a movement in the Earth's crust. Researchers from Germany say redwood ants change their behavior just before an earthquake hits. The researchers also observe ahead of an earthquake, redwood ants remain awake throughout the night outside the mound, exposed to predators. Such behavior is unusual for ants. The ants will not return until at least a day after the earthquake. Birds are known for their sense of navigations and weather predictions. Before a storm or hurricanes, birds often change their flight patterns or seek shelter, indicating a change in weather conditions. Earthquake is one of the deadliest disasters. They are unpredictable and the power can bring a building down. However, it is suggested staying calm during earthquake and follow the safety tips from the Indonesian Red Cross. Earthquakes are natural disasters that can strike suddenly and without warning. While it is impossible to predict when an earthquake will occur, there are several measures you can take to stay safe during such an event. When an earthquake hits, drop down to your hands and knees to prevent being knocked over. Take cover under a solid piece of furniture, such as a table or desk, and hold on until the shaking stops. As reported by Kompas, if the ground starts shaking when you are at home, try to save yourself and family members by hiding under a table. This helps to protect your body from falling objects. Cover your head with a helmet, a pillow, or your hands. If you are outdoors, protect your head and go on to an open area. Stay calm and wait, as the first earthquake is frequently followed by aftershocks. If you happen to be in a shopping center or any other public place, remain calm. Do not use the elevator during an earthquake or fire. Find the emergency exit or fire escape and go to an open area. By following these tips and staying prepared, you can help ensure your safety and the safety of those around you during an earthquake. And that's House News for today. I'm Reni Menario and all the crew. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again next time.